Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got from varsity.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are top.
Welcome fellas. All in, right?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to All In, All United. Fellas, what a way to start your weekend, eh? I think last week we had a good start, a real good start. But United, them just want to play them and making them old school preachers. Now, they say the Lord give it and the Lord take it away. United like to do people them kind of thing, Yeah, we hype and then do crap, right? But I mean, we will get into everything. How all the fellas doing. It's been a while. Well, it's been a while for me. Well, how are you all doing?
Yeah. I mean, looking forward to the weekend, of course, and then early Saturday morning, and then the rest of the day is like, so yeah.
Yeah. Simeon, what are you saying?
All right, man. I mean, you kind of realize, this morning you realize we back the Premier League, really back, United back again. You realize, you can't get back into a routine of, watching your team play and all the frustration that come with it. You kind of getting back in that routine. So, I mean, all right. I mean, just, same thing, different year.
So, Phil, what's going on in the building?
How am I doing? I don't know. I am doing well, man. I almost want to look through the fixture list and find out what games do we have at 7:30 in the morning and just make sure my alarm does not set off at that time, right? So, boy. I good.
And watch me, you'll do that, right? And you'll get all them dates and times, items, and you'll still get up 7:30. I promise you that.
Yeah.
JP, what are you saying, buddy?
I cool and good night to everybody, but I mean, Manchester United tried to solve a weekend early this morning, but and allowing them to do it. So I cool.
Nice. Chef, Wagwan. What, Chef?
I was up. Although they know my job. So I was up really early because today was my pizza day. I was up kneading my dough. I said, all right, I will do that early and then relax a bit to watch our game. Then United couldn't make a drink punch in the whole day, Yeah, Michael. Most important is just catering cool.
Nice. And big up to Asia's catering, man.
And I must just share some good news with you all. My daughter is leaving this week actually to go to university in foreign, so big up to her. Well deserved. She worked hard for that. So yeah.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations for that, man.
God knows now how to sell food. But that's all right. So big up to her. She worked hard for that.
Yes, man. Nice. And I mean, as a parent to you, you have put in your work to it, so big up to you too, man, Chef. You are the mother.
Yeah. And I would tell all, well, it's mostly men around here with the sprinkling of women. Listen, if you're ready for children, pull out now. Because they will be we. You will be we at 19. Have to spend $1,000 on school fees and telling yourself, way boy, I wasn't going to buy a new car, boy.
Well, but it's not too late for. How it applies.
But that is what it's for. So yeah. So back to United. I have to put that in because we will be sour.
Chef said it in the most I don't want to say derogatory way, but it's more like don't let
Straightforward.
a $10 sundress be the reason.
But you're seeing that. I just tell all my young brethren, I just tell all my young brethren like that, yo, my children is a blessing, you know. I love my children. But children is the only bill that does increase every year, you know.
It's true.
Why?
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Anyway, so let me get into it, fellas. I mean, we're here to talk Man United, right? And after 180 minutes of football this season so far, you know, we have one win and one loss. So I'm kind of interested to hear how you all see this result today. Do you all see it as, one step forward, two steps backwards? How all you see, trying to look at the bigger picture, but focusing on today, right? Because I mean, every game there's still a different story, but it just be kind of indicative of what the bigger picture now. So do you all, how all you see the 190 minutes that we play? I mean, it's so easy to start off with hype at Old Trafford. You had the backing of the fans, 75,000+ people there. It new. So it's easy to get up for that. But then as it starts to become, more routine and harder oppositions come. And considering Brighton playing at home, so they have that kind of, support. How you all see, the game? How do you all think it played out today? Do you see it as, steps backward from what we saw last week? Nico, start me off now.
Yeah. Well, I think again, and over the two games, you would have seen it. You would have seen that it had some major gaps last season. We kind of corrected, right? Some of the shots on goal, right? You're seeing limited shots on goal this season. The large gaps in the midfield, over the two games, you definitely see some improvement in that. You're not seeing the big gaps again. But however, we're still seeing we too heavily reliant on the counter. We only really creating chances on the counter. Our let me say our possession would have improved. When over the two games we saw that. The Fulham game in possession we were good. Today again, but in terms of creating chances when we have possession of the ball, we only creating chances on the counter attack when we win the ball. When we high press, and yes, we see the quality in the press. We see we putting teams under pressure, but the only time you really seeing us being able to score is on the counter. And to me, in terms of the bigger picture, that is where we have to improve now. Because I guess I'll leave the rest all here, but I guess on a whole, to me, that is what I've seen. We still could only score, we still could only creating, we still really only looking dangerous on the counter attack.
Yeah. That's a good point. Point. Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast. We want to get more people in on the content as per usual. Let me just shout out Lynchy on the inside. Blessings and love.
Oh, Lynchy.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining, man. All right. Simeon, same to you. And let me just put this one with your Simeon. In your opinion, do you think that we deserve more than what we got from this game today? So that's the question to you, but you could always touch on what Nico.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I watched this Brighton team last week when they played. Just kind of we're going to play them this week. I watched them play, and they're a very good team. I mean, a very good team. They like to have the offside trap, but as far as players that really worried me, they really don't have a lot of players that really, player for player. Like I felt like but they played good team football.
Yes,
Good team defense, good team off. I mean, a solid team. And I knew we had to play solid defense whole game because they moved. I mean, they could attack you in so many ways, and like we, as better as we looked, the first game and this game, we have lapses that come up. I mean, we could play so much good football and just vanish. Like that last goal, like the whole left side just vanished. Like men had just, so we play all our football, and a lot will be said about Ten Hag selection. A lot will be said about, injuries, all that stuff. But we had the players on the field. We had enough chances to win that game. Ahmad scored the only goal, but Ahmad could have, he was going through a lot in the, this weekend. He had a loss in the family, but he had so many chances on the right side to either score or play, Rashford in one. So, he, as good as the goal was, as much I think he's a good player, a lot of times he had to play guys in and score. He didn't take it. And per usual, all that stuff comes back in the end. I mean, we, and you could say bad luck. You could say we should have played the lit. You could say if we had a left back. But, like, we should have won that game. And the excuses for this team, I was looking back all day. I find excuses. But then you see Brighton and how old is their manager?
51.
31, I think.
That team that the sub players every year, we have all the excuses and no answer and not enough answers, so yeah, we should have won, but per usual, we have all these excuses to hold on to, and Ten Hag ain't helping it, always having an excuse in the end. Oh, we played well. Oh, we had this possession was good. I'm like, we lost. We lose a game, Ten Hag. Like this year, that ain't gonna go through this year. Go ahead.
Yeah. Phil, I want to pose the same one to you because I mean, oftentimes we just talk about the scorelines. I mean, it's something natural in football. Sometimes the scoreline don't always reflect how the game went. So and I hear what Simeon said, but I want to hear your thoughts on it, Phil. Did we deserve, when you look at the game, did we deserve more than a 2-1 loss?
Oh boy, we definitely deserve to lose today. I don't mind one player being indecisive or making bad decisions. You always have that one player on your team, but about a good 4 or 5 or 6 players today made terrible decisions for the entire game. Jesus Christ. The 2 goals that we conceded. Forget the 2 goals that we conceded. Of all people to leave open and to score on us and to hit posts. DW, Danny Welbeck.
Again, no, but every game that he play, I get to see the score.
I know,
Nah,
but the man is the first former Manchester United player to score 5 times on us. 5 times.
Lamar do like in school and wait my turn.
5 times the guy scored on us, of all people to leave open. Look, there was no communication between Lissandro Martinez and Harry Maguire today. There was no communication in our entire defense for that second goal. When you get a chance, Reem, send everybody the picture of what I sent you on WhatsApp.
I feel everybody see it.
Yeah.
I feel everybody see it already.
Yeah, I have it to share. I have it.
Oh, you have it to share? Oh, perfect.
Which one of them?
Man, you can see it, Chef. You can see it. When you see it, you might want to leave the podcast. But the communication today, I swear about 7 or 8 players were off today. There were some good link-ups between Bruno and Mount, which I kind of like. But there's some players that they're just off. And you know the worst part. I watch I like to watch some of these like preparation videos that United go through on YouTube, and it's getting me a little bit excited. I was like, yeah, okay, pray for Brighton. At the end of the day, I gotta pray for my club first, right? But yeah, I'll let you guys go through because transfer window almost up, transfer window almost closing in here. So we could talk. We gotta talk about some players that need to leave this club.
Most definitely, most definitely. Before I go to JP, let me just get some comments real quick, right? So I'm literally saying here, this United, here we go. Simple mistakes, lapse in concentration. All right, I'm King of really the insight. Thanks for joining, man. He said, nah, Danny's quality.
So why we didn't keep him?
All right. Matter of fact, he's a finisher. Them is going to finish when they leave Man United. I remember when Danny was here.
He was ready.
Yeah.
But he developed over time. He developed his craft.
Yeah, I think so too.
How much goals Danny Welbeck scored last season?
I can't remember. I don't have a
He scored more than 10?
No.
I feel so.
I just feel so.
I'm telling you, he has scored more than 10.
He didn't?
No.
No. You can always check that.
That Danny Welbeck is so basic. He's like not basic.
No, but he does do a team job. Well, I mean, and Brighton is not an individual thing now. It's a team thing, and they play well as a team. They play well as a team, and Danny Welbeck is a big part of that.
And at the end of the day, if as they all rightfully say, the play as a team, and if you're in dead center of the goal, then you're supposed to score, right?
And it's a very unselfish group of players at Brighton, so it doesn't matter who as one of the teams.
No matter how much players change, no matter what coach they change, the team plays well. Brighton, I said this last season, Brighton injuries killed them last season. But when Brighton at full strength, no matter who they have, Brighton is trouble. But again, I put my finger in my mouth and waiting my turn.
Yeah. JP, go through thoughts on the game. Whether you see things differently from Simeon and Phil, go through now.
I think we were better than a loss today. At least a draw we were good for. I would say that. Because really and truly is two defensive errors that cost us the game. Off the ball, we look like a better team off the ball than we were last season. In terms of how we pressing, how we defending. Probably a little bit of a detriment today where Casemiro and Kobe were not as involved in the attack. Both of them kind of held back a lot more today, so you didn't see them involved going forward. And I think to break down a team like Brighton, you need those kind of players, like some of the passes that we know Casemiro capable of playing. The way Kobe could weave his way into the box and unlock a defense. I think we needed some of that today, and we didn't get that from them. But I definitely do think that I don't think we were worthy the loss today. And just to touch on, what Simeon and Chef just mentioned, what frustrating as a United fan is, you have a manager who enters his third year in his contract. Yes, we had problems with the board. We now have changes that take place with the club and things like that. But when you play against a team like Brighton, who have their structure in place, but still not a tough team, they changed manager, 31 years old. This man had players on the team, at least 5 players, I think, starting who older than him. Right? 31 years old, this man is as a manager. And you come and beat Manchester United 2-1. And the thing is, Brighton, they look good. They look like a proper team still. It didn't look like this new person coming and he don't know what he's doing, or the new manager bounce. It wasn't even a new manager bounce. It was
and he need time.
No, it was a team that playing good football, and I think that is what is disappointing for me as a Manchester United fan. That this is my manager third year. This is third year. Yet yeah, we have whatever was going on upstairs. It had injuries. It had this. It had that. But this is Ten Hag third year. We need to start to see, and I don't want to be negative. I'm only being too negative today and going too hard on Ten Hag, but there's the facts. This is his third year. This man come from, where's the team? Sam Pauli or something, 31 years old. And then the man beat Manchester United. And the first time we played them, we have to command more respect as a big club. You see how Arsenal deal with Aston Villa today? That's how we supposed to be playing football. You have to deal with these teams properly and let them know we are Manchester United. So we have to get back their respect.
Yeah, well said, well said. Chef, your turn has come. Jump in.
Hey, how you could coach for stupidity, boy? That no, they watch them 2 goals we concede. That second goal. Boss, all of us here play football, right? When you're clearing a ball, everybody just run out, boy. I thought you're supposed to be watching the ball, not just running like headless chickens. So I will start by saying you can't coach for dumb. You can't coach stupidity. But that being said, as Simeon, as JP say, dog, we have a manager 3 years old and we still don't know what brand of football we want to play by. We still 3 years later, we still our players still indecisive in front of the goal in the last third. Let me ask you something because I know let us watch all the games. Any other team that run offside more than we? Dan, why do you run offside so much?
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Like these men and them don't know time and run at all, especially the child feeder boy. That man always offside boy. The goal, our disallowed goal. I can't even find the youth man because as a centre forward, you're attacking the goal ball and it was just a little unlucky there. But of course, we had chances in this game to kill Brighton in the first half, dog. Brighton was all a pretty football. We had more chance. The one thing I will say, and that's good seeing we cutting down the amount of chances we giving teams now. But you know what though? Because we so iffy, teams always feel the in the game still, you know.
We don't kill them off. We don't kill them off.
We don't kill them off, dog. Because Brighton, all that pretty football. We had more chances to score than Brighton, and I talk about guilt and chances to score too. Because how much shots Welbeck get on goal?
Maybe that was the only one. When you score.
And he scored.
And the header will come over the post.
Personally, for me, that I just don't. This is just sidetracking. I don't like the defense is about partnerships, and for me, Maguire and Martinez is not a good partnership at all. So they don't work well together at all. Sometimes you might see, but like who to go, who to stay, who to mark, it don't work at all. Me and line, we name the one we now bring, Delight, however you pronounce it, Delight. Horse, he had to start next game, you know. Because something that me and I, and is you know what is getting me mad with Maguire is the dotish look on his face. I just want to slap him. Don't get too big and dotish for that dog.
Just to add to players who just do dotish stuff, and then like look at other players to blame. Anthony,
Yeah, Anthony's one of them.
I see Anthony do a back pass today, or a back flip, a back flick of the ball. And it's almost like he was expecting the United player to be there, and he looking
Like,
at everybody, right? Instead of looking at the
so
man
I
in the
didn't
mirror.
see that. Yourself, you barely lucky to get a sweat, and when you come on, that dotations you do it. But nobody know Anthony for alone for the rest of the season, boy. We go pay it, you know.
No, I
I'm
tell you,
sure.
I feel him actively looking into that.
I'm
feel him
sure
actively looking into
United.
that.
I'm sure
Ten
the
Hag will be
United
begging.
fan base willing to take a collection, set up a GoFundMe page to pay Anthony to play somewhere else in the rest of the season, boy. Because he's a wrong shit on though.
I think Ten Hag begging. I think Ten Hag begging the board to keep him. You know, because there's no reason for you to still be there. There's no reason for even Sancho not to be on the team and Anthony on the bench.
But I don't get that. So why
There's no
Sancho not
reason for
even?
that either.
Is it because they're actively looking to sell him?
But I have that on the to come on a little bit later, right? So I want to focus on that when we
Okay,
talking about it.
yeah. So
Right?
yeah. So that is
Yeah.
it for me. Opening.
Yeah, no problem. So I guess some comments quick. Eric Lutz on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. He said many players made awful mistakes, but Ten Hag's poor substitutions, tactics, and starting lineup was equally as bad, if not worse. All right. Mylon on the inside. Thanks for joining. Good. The only positive I saw today is Rashford getting subbed off before Ahmad. I was shocked. Right. Honorably Priest saying, to be honest, I find we playing two programs like Ten Hag have players on strings, let players play free. I don't know, a 50-50 on that, right? He also saying here Anthony did that to Kobe. Anthony did that to Kobe.
Kobe fell,
Went at him.
and Kobe went at him.
Right. So let me just jump in quick on this, right? And guys, we could start to talk about, we thoughts on the game, starting lineup, everything. Right? Now, I don't know how long Ten Hag want to go with this false 9 thing with Mount and Bruno. Right?
I feel it done now.
I feel it's done too.
Probably and more
It done.
and to shock earlier, I think it done because perhaps Mount injured more than the fact that we didn't win today.
Oh, Mount injured?
Yeah.
Nah, don't say that. He injured?
Yeah, Ten Hag said he had a little issue and they didn't want to risk it and they took him off. That's why he came off at halftime. Right? No.
Nah, I feel it's because of pressure. Pressure you had to change that. That loss today is pressure.
No, but what I'm saying, I know how stubborn Ten Hag has been, and I'm telling you, that whole false 9 experiment with Mount and Bruno only going to change because Mount not available. Right? Now, the thing about it earlier, and I think I can't remember who had mentioned it before, we are doing some things better this season than we have done before. And what it is the press. We're pressing high, we're forcing teams into error. But my issue, I think I mentioned it before, is that requirement and that demand on players is very, very heavy. So it is very hard to maintain that level of energy and press for a full 90 minutes. So if we don't capitalize and take advantage when we have the energy to press and win back the ball and create chances, because we have been doing it with the high press, them boys going to tire out. And I've seen it, I saw it last Friday. I see it today where we tire out after a while and we fall back into our mid-block, right? And then it's just a matter of looking for, Rashford to break a line, or Ahmad to break a line, or Bruno to break a line. And that is what our footballers resort to, Now, I could disagree with Chef a little bit in that after 3 years, I can finally say that I now understand what Ten Hag's style of play is. I still don't agree with it, right? But I could tell you what his style of play is, right? And the thing about Ten Hag's philosophy or, whatever, is for this to be effective, he almost have to have the best players in every position. You know what I'm saying? And this is why last season, when one player missing, the entire thing broke down. because he needs the best players in every position for this system that he wants to play to work. And because the best players will capitalize on every opportunity they get, or at least minimize the lack in decision making quality. You will get more quality in decision making and finishing. So when you have players like Ahmad and you know, Xerxes or Mount and Bruno and these fellas who, you know,
they're not true. No coming up.
They're not true. Yeah, they're now coming up. You know, they're not elite. You're gonna find problems to maintain that level of football and get the kind of desired results. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand what you're trying to do now. My question is, how long can we maintain that level of energy in a football match? Right? Now I could say and jumping on Ten Hag's side, well, all right, the season now starts, so you know, players building up because Kobe didn't have a preseason, Bruno didn't have a preseason, this, that, the other. You know, to try to understand the position that the manager in. But this is going to be a very, very hard call. And I could see better teams punishing us. And when I say better teams, I'm not talking about the Liverpools and the Man Cities and them, because when we play those teams, we just drop back naturally and we just try to stifle and we just play a counter. And for some reason or the other, it is work. Right? But when we play teams that we're supposed to beat, it's pressure. So I've seen for the second game week running, we start off nice, you get a nice press, but when we have the ball, and Nico mentioned it too, everything we do is on the counter. Me and we make 2-3 decent passes and bring in a team yet. Everything is on the counter. So, guys, I mean, I know my thoughts on this whole thing from a long time, but I'm not going to ignore the positives, but I think the negatives outweigh the positives, and there's no me in panic mode earlier. I talk in this long time. All right? Go through.
Yeah, again, I had no issue with the lineup, to be honest. You know, I had no issue because last week when I saw Zuski for that, you see how I came on for you, so he was lacking in a bit of fitness, you know, and I was really expecting him, according to how the game was going, maybe to get 45 minutes, you know, to make that another step in fitness, right? Or even a bit more. Well, it could be more than 45 minutes, but more than 60 minutes. You know, I was expecting that. So the lineup, I wasn't surprised. I don't think it's a player other than maybe Garnacho coming in. Garnacho maybe if it's for Rashford. You know, I was glad that Ten Hag stuck with Ahmad because I know he was itching to drop Ahmad. And then a perfect excuse would have been the death of his stepmother, that kind of thing, you know, to say, well, you know, maybe his head wasn't right, you know, head wasn't in it, bring him on, you know, but he stuck with him. He got the goal. I think he played the full 90 minutes. You know, and kudos to that, you know, kudos to taking off Rashford. I think that was a good sub, you know, at a good time. The Bruno one was a bit surprising to me, and again, is who you're bringing them on for now, because I understand that you're hoping that McTominay this season is the McTominay last season, that you're hoping that he will pop up with a goal, but McTominay ain't no quality player now. So you bringing on McTominay and you're hoping for a goal, and what that leading to is a big hole in the midfield, right? Because he just headless, he care about nothing else other than, you know, trying to get his name up in the lights. And again, all the football breakdown now. And then on top of it now, the coach, right? Brighton coach, that realized, hey, them fellas tiring. Let me go for the jugular now. And so now about 4 men in about 88.
Freshman, yeah? Fresh,
right? Looking for blood, right? And them 4 men is who kill me off. Because I tell you, when them 4 players come on, all hell break loose, and we couldn't find ourselves. You know, so I think that was a master stroke from the coach, knowing that, hey, you know, them fellas they fit, them fellas struggling fitness wise. Let we wait, let we hold we card, you know, we hold we ace to we back pocket. We have 4 men coming with fire, and he bring them on, and that will kill us off. I don't think if he had made those substitutions, we would have lost. But I think kudos to him on that decision to bring on those players. Again, as Simeon and some of you would have said, I think we created some decent chances. I think he crossed some Dalo to Ahmad in the first few minutes. Gilt edge. I think there's chances that we should be taking. We should be taking.
At least put on target. Now.
Yeah. That was
save now, man.
Yeah, that was too much of a, and we know you had that too. We know you have that in your locker. I think that stuff's up nice. But still, we still need to score more than one goal, because what we do, we will score one goal, and then we struggling to score the second and third, and having teams having hope now. And I think that is a big part, because big teams, they're killing you off 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals.
Yep.
But we struggling to score in Tena's entire period at United. We have struggled to score goals, and we have struggled to see most of the time where the goals coming from. And so that is something that had to change.
Yeah. Nico, you mentioned something, so I just want to get Simeon and whoever JP thoughts on this. Right now, you talk about Nico about the Bruno sub, right? And I mean, a lot of the fan base on socials, had an issue with it, right? So why you take off Bruno? Bruno is this, Bruno is that, whatever, right?
Just plain shit.
But do you think that the Bruno sub was tied to us losing the match as much as the fans making it out to be? Everyone want to.
So it was tight. I mean, my thing about the Bruno sub was that, I mean, it's one thing to bring up McTominay, but like taking Bruno off kind of left a kind of like you said, a hole in the midfield. Like you have McTominay, you had Xerxes, right? And one thing I noticed with Xerxes is he is like, we didn't use him the right way when he came on. He wasn't really getting the passes he needed. He was making some good plays, but we didn't use him properly. So you had Xerxes who not really being used properly, and you have McTominay who running, next to him. Xerxes is not a good defender. He's not. His awareness is not there. That's one thing I realized when he came on. So you have McTominay and Xerxes on the field, and you have men running. When we lose the ball, you have men running past. So like the whole, I don't understand how you have, you take off Mount who should be playing when Bruno's playing. Then you take off Bruno. So you don't really have a like for like when you take Bruno off, which is an issue in coaching. You have Ericsson who I don't know why he's still there. If you ain't gonna use him. So like that whole sub mix, leadership wise too, like that whole sub mix almost no sense, because 2 years ago I would say if you bring on McTominay and he go run for you. I would say McTominay go run for you. But now, looking back, McTominay don't run. McTominay just, I don't know, he that's not his thing. He don't track nobody, he just run toward the goal, and that's it. So I still need a explanation as to why is McTominay who we trying to sell that get on the field.
Yeah. JP, we're saying, following from Simeon, I don't know, was I mean, I just want to understand.
You're gonna mute you.
Yeah, somebody microphone going back and out.
Yeah. I think that's JP again. That from, I don't know where's the All right, no problem. Yeah. So Phil, I'm gonna pass it on to you now. A lot of people on the socials, were talking about why Ten Hag saw off Bruno. If you didn't take off Bruno, he's the most influential player, most creative player. Yada yada yada. Do you think if Bruno didn't? Do you think if Bruno had stayed on the pitch, the end result would have been different?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I can understand why people or fans were upset at the Bruno subbing off because of who came on,
Yes.
right? Um, I don't. I want United fans to get it in their head that Scott just because Scott has changed a few games for us that does not make him a game changer. Game changers are like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back in the day. That's what we consider a game changer, right? You know when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came on, you know something is going to happen. When Scott comes on, there's a hope that he can score a winner. He scored 2 winners versus Brentford. It was last season that everybody was like, "Yeah, this is our knight in shining armor." So people were upset as to more of who came on versus Bruno being subbed, right? And I will say this. I will say this again. I cannot think of any top 10 club that Scott McTominay starts for, or Scott McTominay is coming on to change a game for. I cannot think of any top 10 club. Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody in the comments could tell me. Somebody on the panel could tell me, but I cannot think
Napoli,
any top
please,
10 club.
please take it.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Bruno didn't do anything or didn't do much today.
They can already ball too much.
There's times where there's this outside pass with his right foot that he tries all the time. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing it, if you're pulling it off 3 out of 10 times, it's almost like the socials will highlight the 3 times out of the 10 times that he pulls it off.
Yeah.
They won't highlight the other 7 times where it's given away, or a opposition person collects it. They can highlight the 3 times he pulls it off, right? So I don't know, man. I can like I said, us bringing on Scott McTominay for Bruno is a downgrade, definitely. So I can understand why fans were upset. But taking off, in my opinion, taking off Bruno, or at least, sorry, if we had left on Bruno, I don't think the result would have changed. I've been watching Bruno for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and when United need a goal, he wants to turn into an individual and try to save the day, right? Avengers settings, Justice League. And that's how Bruno is, right? So I don't think the result would have changed. I think there would have been more giveaways. And it is what it is. But transfer window closing the 30th.
JP, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, the consensus I would say is not the taking off Bruno, but is the who you're replacing him with. And first and foremost, if we look into sell Scott McTominay, I don't even understand why he on the bench. Why he even on the bench? Because the point is, if we close that deal being completed, then he shouldn't even be part of the squad anymore. Like just like how we're not seeing Sancho, because I guess Sancho on his way out. I don't want to see Scott name on the team because he's not supposed to be part of our thinking anymore. You're moving away from this as an option. You have Ericsson on the bench, who he may not have the energy of a Bruno and a Mount, but Ericsson is a player who could break lines. Ericsson is a player who could pick a pass. You have
bring a bit of composure to the midfield as well.
Exactly. We have Collier, who was on the bench as well, who we saw brought some energy in the midfield. So if he was trying to do something different, we have Kobe, who could play further forward. Collier could have come on and hold next to Casemiro and play Kobe further forward, because we know Kobe have that ability with the passing, with the composure. That's another thing that he could have tried. But Ten Hag default setting is and he did a goal, Scott McTominay.
Yeah, you
So
gotta
what
change
you
your, you
gonna
gotta
do when
change your
Scott leave?
mindset.
They were saying, what are you gonna do when Scott leave? Because Scott have to go. We have
But he
to get Scott
begging the
McTominay
board to
out.
keep Scott because the board want to get
I
rid of
don't
Scott
understand why.
McTominay and like he begging to keep
I,
Scott.
I don't understand why. What is this manager seeing in Scott McTominay that absolutely nobody else is seeing? I have there are no fan channels that I look at that would say Scott McTominay is an asset. Nobody, everybody says the same thing. The man will score the odd goal, but other than that, he's not doing anything for the team. So I don't think is the taking off Bruno Los's game is the lack of composure that the team have as a whole, and Bruno himself is one of those persons who does not keep that composure when things get in the rough. Because even in the first half, when things wasn't going his way, I was seeing him shrugging his shoulder, thinking up, and I think sometimes as well as annoy fans with it because it's just like keep your head on and just keep at it, keep doing the things that are working. They don't have to do the Hollywood, they don't have to look for the greatest pass. Just keep doing what working. And I think that is something that's infecting the team. They don't like they have this default switch to just bomb the ball forward, try and do something spectacular, and in
Correct.
doing that, they're missing some of these simple plays that are right in front of them.
Correct. Yeah. Let me just say something before Chef come in, right? And I think Phil had mentioned it. It had a pass, and I mean, I just look at how other teams just play, right? And I had seen some little signs of improvement, and I had mentioned it, to a couple of y'all. When we moving the ball, we've been a lot more patient, and we seeing where with the patience, the openings just create itself. And I remember it had a ball we shift on the left-hand side. And from the time the ball went to Bruno just made the outside pass with his foot and they get cut off.
Shut down the whole play.
And shut down the entire play. Sometimes it might just mean, hey, let me forget this Hollywood ball. Because I think if that pass had gone through, it would have gone to one player being surrounded by 4 Brighton players.
Correct.
And unless that player was probably some kind of avenger, you wasn't getting through there. So what you're forcing it for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these are the kind of things I just be looking at and I be saying, where the IQ here, where the intelligence and the way we want to play and retain possession and try to move the team up together so we could force overloads and so we could start back bouncing around the ball around their box like how everybody's doing.
But no, some United fans gonna save that Kevin De Bruyne clip where Kevin De Bruyne mentions that Bruno is one of the top creators in the league, and that is their rebuttal for us saying that Bruno has a very low IQ.
But I can accept, Phil, that as a creative player, you are the one you could take risks and I can accept that, but place and time, boys. For God, let the intelligence match up.
Look at the creative entities for the top 6 or 7 teams in the EPL. Are they trying anything with the outside of their foot? Odegaard doesn't do it. De Bruyne doesn't do it. Bernardo Silva.
De Bruyne have one on it, but it does come off.
When he does do it.
He does do it, but it does come off.
No, I'm asking. We know because I'll wait. I don't want to cut anybody.
Nah,
because I was going to say, all men need to learn. If men want to learn patience and time and place to play a pass, they just need to watch Kevin De Bruyne clips, Just watch that man clip. Then I am watching this man play today. He is the most patient footballer there is. The man takes his...
I rate Odegaard for that, but in terms of patience and creativity.
Patient. But then, I watched De Bruyne, the man, patient. But hear what? To Nicole's point there, he had the Hollywood pass in him, But when that man put a Hollywood pass, it coming off. Guaranteed.
If you got asked how often does Kevin De Bruyne play a Hollywood pass? How often?
Because when he put it, Horse, you're sure, you know what? You're sure he played you in play in the 16 yard for you to put. It had no two ways about that. So today, for all the Manchester fans, I couldn't say it. For all the Manchester fans who had a problem with Bruno today, then all of we here is Bruno fans. But listen to me, nobody gave away the ball more than Bruno today. And I dare all you to check that. Bruno made the most set of mistakes in our midfield today and gave away the ball the most. When I saw his number come up, I stand up and clap because this is the Ten Hag I want to see.
Exactly, I agree with you.
But as fast as I clap, I start to cuss when I see what are you bringing him on for?
Exactly.
Brother man, I personally would I prefer you bring on the youth man, Collier, and push up Casemiro. Do that. Or you had Mount. But Mount, I can understand you take off Mount because you want to play that false nine thing. But you want to bring on your center forward. But then, I don't know when it will get into this manager of our head that once McTominay on the pitch, we playing short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We playing short.
One time.
But then he bring on McTominay and Anthony. That's two players short.
Yeah.
McTominay,
Anthony, and Maguire in the back.
No, Maguire came off.
Maguire came off, yes. Thank you.
As I said that, let me just touch on something, and Nicole, I'm gonna push this one to you, right? But before that, let me just say, right? I was pleased to see the manager making some big calls, and I mean, it's easy to criticize the manager when it do work and it do win in the favor of the team, right? But it doing something to the team where players understanding now that it's no sure pick again. You see, most people were expecting Ahmad name to come up on the board instead of Rashford because they were happening in the first game and Rashford get hooked. Right, and when you pound Rashford, you could see, he wasn't happy with his performance. He didn't look as though he was like for the decision. And you could just tell that he was disappointed in himself, the performance, right? Bruno was the one who irked me a little bit when he was coming off. He gave a kind of smile as though, you know what you're doing, taking me off, right? And then when the game ended with us losing, the camera panning him again, and it kind of looked, the face. I mean, I could be reading too much into this, but it kind of looked as though Bruno felt a little vindicated now, So these are the things that sometimes they just wanted to go in the favor of the manager because we need to remove these any ounce of player power that's still there. We need to remove them things. You understand? Any player supposed to be able to get some, and I know everybody want to play, right? And everybody want to play 100 minutes, but at the same time, you got to recognize that the team is more important than you, right? Yep. And Bruno energy level was falling off. He was rushing decisions, and it was not helping the team. Ten Hag, I saw a clip where Ten Hag was telling the midfield after we scored the goal to be compact, stay compact. I don't know how much of you saw when Ten Hag was And right after play, Bruno run out of midfield to run down the goalkeeper. You understand? And 2 passes over the head. And they were already now half, and Bruno was jogging back. Now, they've not been knocking Bruno energy level, but the discipline I'm talking about. Right? Yeah. Right after the manager tell you, keep compact, keep the midfield tight. You run out of position to run down a goalkeeper. And it's not too long after he get hooked. So I don't know if that's what I kind of instruct the manager. But when Bruno, and I think somebody mad on his JP, when Bruno tired, Bruno just revert to waste.
Yeah, and he had to recognize the influence that he have in the team.
That is his skip.
How much of the play goes through Bruno? So if it is our most influential player, is our most wasteful player in terms of the passes that he makes, then that will just translate to the type of football the team plays. And you see when they call names like De Bruyne and Odegaard. The player in our team who actually closest to any of them is Kobe Mainoo,
Correct.
because he is the calmest thing on the ball.
Yep.
Kobe don't get flustered. Kobe is look like if he have 2 minutes to make a split second decision and he don't look hustled, he is make the right passes all the time. That is the kind of players that Manchester United need to have. And even if it's not the same technical ability, but the mindset, the way they're thinking and the way they're looking at the game. Not
Especially
everything
in
has to be
midfield.
rushed. And I think that is what we had to get out of our system, because you're seeing improvements, but then because we're not finishing off the game, taking our chances, they revert into the rushy football, Hollywood pass, shoot from wherever, don't look to see who open to pass them. That is what happened with the team. They're not thinking, they're just reacting.
Yeah, yeah. I get two comments real quick, and then Sylvia and I have one for you to start off, right? On really pre-saying here, Bruno sub took away all our creation. All right. He also
What
said
creation?
whatever creation Bruno is create.
Well,
Right?
to be honest, the chance that Garnacho missed, and I think Garnacho missed it earlier, not
No, he
being
missed.
offside.
He
Garnacho
missed.
missed. So
He missed.
in 2 games in a row, Garnacho missed an open goal, right?
Yeah.
Bruno was a big part of that play, right? But
Yeah.
again, I could agree with taking off Bruno. We lose a bit of creativity because again, who we bring on?
But if we
Right?
did bring on Ericsson, Nico, you think that'd be that comment with a thing? So this
Maybe
is
that
like,
still stand. It might that still stand. Well, I mean, I guess the comment from whoever fans, yeah, would have still stand. But if we won the game, then it might have been vindicated. You know.
Simeon, right? This is the second game that we saw the lit come on for Maguire. Right? Now, I don't know what Ten Hag plan is. Right? I don't know if you're just waiting for Maguire to mess up. Right? So you can bring in the player and thing.
Yeah.
But do you all think that, it is what consistency with your back line now, right?
Yep.
So do you think that substitution taken off Maguire wasn't injured, so it wasn't enforced? Do you think that the sub kind of throw off the little chemistry and thing of the center back? You think Ten Hag should just decide on who his center backs are and just go through with it? You think that sub had anything to do with throwing off the kind of balance and chemistry and that the center back were pairing?
I mean, it probably did, but it shouldn't have. I don't think it's an excuse. I mean, Maguire got pulled because his mistakes. I think his mistakes were not, and I think that when you look at I think it's more to do with the left back than the center backs. And I think Martinez and all wasn't having a great game. Who's the football captain back there? I mean, I always hear that Martinez is the the guy back there that more or less runs the defense back there. And I think it has more to do with Dallo being the left back there than it is the center backs. But I really don't think the center back pairing should have affected a team this way to where everybody's gonna run to once. I mean, Kareem, you remember we played primary school football. Remember that, right? When the ball went one way, the whole crowd, everybody went the same way.
Following the ball.
I mean, that's how it looked today. The ball went to the right side, and like nobody had any sense of position. And it kind of, I want to put on Dallo, but like he's the left anchor. He's supposed to be left anchor more or less as left back. Like somebody had to, I didn't see enough replays to to the point, but Xerxes was the person who. That's what keeps coming up to Xerxes, because he didn't really play a lot of football in the last few months. He's the person with the perfect view of, okay, well, I'm a center the goal. There's nobody to the left. There's nobody to the right of me, but there's like 3 unmarked players for Brighton, and like he didn't recognize it. Everybody else face was turned towards the ball, and it's like that's one of those things where, yeah, I mean,
if he, I think he could have reached there.
No.
He couldn't reach there. He couldn't do nothing in it.
Yeah, but like the friend before, like, when the ball was played, everybody else back was turned. Yeah, I mean,
Dallo, I don't know where Dallo is in this whole
that's the thing. It's like,
if Garnacho, I say maybe Garnacho trying to
when he left winger, which
is Garnacho. So we tried to win the game. Garnacho maybe up on the halfway line.
Yeah, it's like
that was our whole mess.
If you are left-sided player, where are you? Like, we talk about, we need Shaw back. That's one thing, but it has to be some kind of discipline to say, okay, well, I can't just run across. I can't follow the ball. I need the timing as well. Like it's injury time. Like you have to defend this. And like, who are the people that making sure? And this reminds me of the Chelsea game. Where they score from? It's a corner or something.
Yeah, power. Yeah,
nobody. That awareness wasn't there. Like nobody had that awareness.
But to me, you think because there's no me making any excuses, but I think because Dallo is he's more of a right back than a left back. He just naturally just.
I think it was just a melee. I think it was just like
melee. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think it was, because other than that, I being honest with you, I think Dallo had a very good game other than.
Yeah.
It can't explain that picture though. It can't explain how.
So I don't want Reem give him that window to maneuver at all. I ain't accepting that, because all it is done, whether he is a right back or a left back, the same mechanics goes for both positions though. That was just a lapse.
No, but you see, Chef,
from everybody.
What could say, right? What could say?
From everybody.
I agree. But you see, you can't just look at the position on the field and say, well, Dallo's supposed to be left back, so he's supposed to be there, because remember, there's not a open play scenario. This is a set piece. So with a set piece now, players will pick up players in different positions, right?
Yeah.
If you look back at the goal, Casemiro, after the first play, he ran out and he left that gap, because that's where Casemiro was. Casemiro left that gap, and they won back the ball, right? So it's hard to try to decipher what playoff there. I mean, also it was a lapse.
United.
Yeah.
But Karim, like, even if it's just one side, like, it wasn't like one player we left open.
It
was like 3 men, like.
We got 4 guys. We got 4 guys looking to shut down.
Yes.
Like
all of them are just starting block and gone.
Yeah.
Watch.
Still getting the cross.
Yeah, nobody didn't even close him down. Everybody sat up and watch. Yeah.
So I just want to touch in on the same Dillett Maguire, sub. I saw Maguire start to tire. It had some plays, because the play again when McTominay came onto the field and we had that big hole in the midfield, you saw where the centre backs were being stretched. You saw where Maguire started to get leggy. I saw that. I saw players running at Maguire, and I said, "Oh God, Maguire looks like he can't make." Right? No, I'm telling you, I don't know who else saw that.
The thing is, Maguire doesn't look like that in the first 5 minutes.
No, but you saw it, yes, and I saw this a week link, right? Hey, Maguire looking like, and I saw these faces opening up, and I said, hey, if they catch Maguire gonna be under real pressure, So I could understand that, hey, bringing in that freshness, maybe a little sharper, a little faster would have helped. But one thing I see what Dillett do, he had to calm himself a little bit, because I see that he diving into almost everything. I think he lacking a bit of composure, maybe with games. That would help.
But you feel like that he's so eager to impress. That's
Yes.
That is it.
Yes,
That's what
of
going on.
course.
That is it.
Of
That is
course.
exactly it.
Of
He
course, but
want to impress.
he want to impress, but and I think he has that naturally in this game earlier. To be
Okay.
honest,
Okay.
I think I looked at him and he has a natural aggression in his game.
No, he does. Since
yeah.
from Ajax.
But and then so at United, even with Dutchman, the pressure at United is nothing close to what them fellas ever feel in their life. They would have played for Ajax, they would have played for Juventus, they would have played for Bayern Munich, and the pressure playing for Manchester United, who not even expected to make the top 4, is greater than what them fellas have ever seen or feel in their life.
But
here's
the thing, Nico, right?
Uh-huh.
We saw that when we signed Lisandro Martinez, within the first 2 games, we knew that Lisandro Martinez and Harry Maguire would be a good fit, and that's why we signed Rafael Varane, right? This is going to be the same thing over again.
Yeah.
We signed De Ligt or Lenny Euro, and we realized that Lisandro Martinez being our best centre back, he needs a partner next to him to communicate well with, right?
Yeah.
You can on a match day. You can have each centre back playing well, but if they're not communicating, they could ship in 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah.
Now the because all wingers.
Yeah, because to me,
you can have the next centre back like blocking everybody, but if they're not communicating well, 2 or 3 goals can easily come in.
Yeah,
and
because what Brighton centre backs today? Cool, them. You know what I mean?
That was my point.
Watch how easy them 2 goals score.
And that was my point at the start of the pod. That, and it's not now I'm watching this, but it doesn't seem like Martinez and Maguire communicate well at all. At all. It is look off.
Them goals too easy.
Dan,
for Argentina, them kind of goals not scoring with Argentina.
And look who he playing in the back there with. Shut up, Otamendi. Romero.
But them goals not scored. No, but them goals not scoring.
Argentina.
What you kind of goal scoring? What's our first goal score today, boy?
Maguire barely even stretching foot and turn around and telling the players.
And that's not dog. He couldn't. I watched somebody was trying to tell me that a center midfielder supposed to be there. I say underneath the goal. Are you mad? Is a center back had to cover that?
Them goes. We just be fighting up too much. We just be putting in too much high pressing. But them kind of goal to score, boy.
That shit is irritating,
I'm telling you, boy.
You watching? Dog, I watch Mount face and Mount like, come on, boy. I run it like a clown.
My life out.
I run it, boy. I tried all how to make this team because all they pay all this money for me. I watch his Mount face, boy. I Mount watch them like, oh God.
And I sent the forward in the middle, you go tap it in, boy.
Let me tell you something. For people who don't fully get it, you see, if you have a shaky defense, then you're
your whole team.
I never in my existence thought I would make a point using Dog, all you watch Arsenal back four? Boss, I'm watching that back four play today, and I tell myself, but this had to be Arsenal's best back four since Sol Campbell and them. Listen, if you pass one, it have a next one day. If you pass a next one, it have a next one. No, and hear what? The four in the back is bruisers, and then the half party in front of them with Rice. Dog, so that's why the Arsenal always have a chance of scoring because they know what they have in the back there. The keeper pretty good too. So dog, the attackers know.
I pull off some big saves today.
You see them saves he pull off today?
That man close to listen them saves.
So I said to myself, so dog, I watching them, that I watching we name White. And I had to ask what position White played? Because like White in that box, in the attacking box all the time. Yeah. And you know what? He had coverage. So I don't dog. Again, none of we here ever played them kind of level football. But dog, just from a knowledge of football, you telling me we players are able to do that, boy?
Nah, I tell you, you run them when them fellas come back. Them gonna play. I tell you, as much as they handle it, you run them fellas gonna play because the intelligence and the reading of the game.
I am telling you, as much as we give Maguire, because dog with us jam players, but if you do well, we give you your props. Yeah. And Maguire really pull me out. But brother man, let me be honest with yourself in terms of quality. Maguire ain't it.
No.
And you know, Steph, I mean, you watch that game today, like, and then you watch the Arsenal Villa game.
Yes, Simeon.
You see the levels, and like we can play good for a while, but we have these lapses, and those lapses cause, you know, two things. We have those lapses, and we can't finish. Like how Villa couldn't finish today. They had like 2 good chances they couldn't finish.
Jesus Christ, I don't know what do Watkins today.
That Watkins, you know, like you will get a chance or 2. You know, we get 3 or 4 chances each game. We can't finish. We can't finish good chances we miss. But against good teams, you get 1 or 2.
You have to finish.
You have to finish.
Here,
you can't lapse in defense. And right now we 0 for 2. We 0 for 2.
Here what makes a good centre back. Okay, you saw that Danny Welbeck scored today. Why not just say, okay, I can make sure he's not going to get access to the football again? And you know how many times he had a chance on goal with a header? I gonna shift off a little bit off of the defense, but like I mentioned, 2 things. Joshua Zirkzee, you're going to have to adjust your game so much to get this football, to touch this football more than 10 times from Manchester United.
That's unfortunate. It's crazy.
He is going to have to adjust his game so much. He's going to almost have to be a deep lying striker, like a Harry Kane or a Wayne Rooney.
Like an extra midfielder or a deep line,
Correct.
Yeah. Like a Martial.
No, but the thing about it, right, Phil, before you continue, sorry to cut you, right? But I saw today, it had a couple of times where, and even as much as I like Ahmad had no wondering whether he have a walking stick, he right foot as a walking stick.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a ball when you're running, you could just play and bend it across the front line and a player could
run on. Yeah.
And I saw Ahmad have 2 good chances.
Ahmad was one of our poorest players today.
Yeah,
either 2 or 3.
It's good chances.
And yes,
he had one he played behind Rashford back.
Yeah. You see that play Nico Amrim talking about? It's at least 3 of them where he gets it, and all you have to do is bring that ball straight across, not to the outside of your foot.
Yeah.
Not to the outside of your foot. Play that ball around, and it had men waiting. It had what he could have played to Mount and all early in the game. So dog, we just make this football too.
He was off his game. Yeah. If Ahmad didn't score, he was coming off, eh?
Yeah. But you know the funny thing is though, that Ahmad looking like the most likely threat right now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Marcus, I ain't like Marcus not playing bad, you know. I want to be fair to the fella. Marcus not playing bad, but Marcus almost playing to me like he holding back. Like he not playing with a freedom at all. And I'll tell you something. Playing like that is going to get your ass benched just now for
No, I tell
Garnacho.
you.
Because
Yeah, I tell
every
you.
time Garnacho come on, it's fire, yeah?
He need a
Me
goal.
and-
If he's scoring,
me and-
I think he will play. But
Last season we said the same thing at JP. I just saying, I ain't falling for that one. I ain't falling for that one.
But we seen it. But what we seen something a little different in this season where I find he'd running back a lot. So he had
Yes,
out
you
a
see
lot
the
of
effort.
defense.
You see the effort.
I'm not telling you, you're not seeing
But
the
you had to
effort.
finish.
You had to finish. You had to finish.
Last season he was just looking disinterested. So I find at least we seeing interest from him now. So that's why I feel this time maybe our goal could kind of loosen him up and let him.
But here the thing, no JP. Here the thing. This is all well and good to say, but as you rightfully just said, he had to finish. He had to score, you know, because how long you could keep Garnacho out of that starting lineup?
You can't keep him out. You can't keep him out.
Let me be real, because
Garnacho coming for Rashford Ahmad anytime.
Yeah,
and very
right.
soon.
Right now on that right side, personally for me, I will tell you something. That right side, if you're pulling off Ahmad, I faster play Mount than Anthony, you know.
No. Oh, Anthony shouldn't be in that team.
That's
Come
what I'm
on,
telling you.
Anthony, you said where
Because
Anthony him come from?
I'm not coming up. Because, all right, if we go back to where is Mount most effective position? It's not necessarily right wing, you know. It's like a right inverted kind of player, kind of inverted forward, however the hell you want to call it. So, dog, I don't want to see Anthony there, no. But on that left side, Rashford had to be worried, you know, because it have Garnacho. And I don't know, unless we really selling him, Sancho had to be in this team, though.
Before I follow that segue, Chef, let me just say something on Rashford, right? And me and JP was talking about that as well. You see, my issue is, and that's why I agree with Chef, you know, first assessment, Rashford didn't have a bad game, right? But to be our number 10, you know, the club poster boy, you know, you're on massive wages. You can't give me okay games. You cannot give me decent. Quiet. You can't give me that.
Quiet but effective. No.
Yeah, that will only.
Did that for Kobe Mino and them?
Yeah, that will only hold you for a very short space of time, especially when you have players like Garnacho and them knocking. You see on the right side, Amado running at players, he's scoring. You understand? When Garnacho come on, he gain energy. He a little more direct than you. He adventurous. Even though he might lose the ball, he adventurous. He trying something. He getting shots on goal. Rashford removed a lot of the directness from his game. I appreciate the fact that he's looking to be a little more simple in what he's doing to maintain possession of the game. However, the way Man United is played, we need our wingers to offer more. You understand what I'm saying? And this is where I think Rashford go lost out. I don't know if it's a confidence to see where he just don't think he could take on a player again, right? But Rashford had to do something because trust me, before long, because look today, nobody expected Rashford to get pulled off, but he get pulled off, right? And not from a fan's perspective, you know, seeing it through Ten Hag lens. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's up to the fans, Rashford wasn't even playing, right? But to see the manager pull him off as the first winger, then that had to say something to him. So he really had to decide and figure this thing out very, very quickly because he got to be playing from the bench and he got to be playing the impact role, right? Because Ahmad had a bad game. The goal saved him, but he didn't deserve dropping. And he didn't deserve dropping.
And just to add to that point, Nick, Reem, that I will tell you something. If Garnacho wasn't in Copa, so he come back late, he probably would have been starting right now already, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So-
person who benefit from that type it is Ahmad.
If Ahmad benefit more.
It's
Yeah, I think
who
Ahmad benefit more.
from that.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
it's
I
not,
don't
it's
know.
not
I don't know.
Rashford.
No, I still feel Rashford will be the man under more pressure.
Yes. On
Because
that left side,
Remember, Nico?
because of the form Ahmad was showing even from last season coming.
Yeah, but
in
even
Ahmad
with
just
that,
continue.
yeah, but Nico, even
and
with
Ahmad
that,
just continue.
look at the final. Who he played in the final? Ahmad didn't get no in the
Exactly. He's
final.
still there for Ahmad.
Yeah. No,
Ahmad
what I'm
gets
saying
out
is,
to
well,
the
no. My point is, what I'm saying is, in terms of performances, right? Rashford possibly would have been the one under pressure. Because of performances.
I hear what you're
Because of
saying, but-
performances.
No. But I hear what you're saying, but we have to also remember the kind of preseason Ahmad had, and
Yeah.
that is what have Ahmad in this level of form and favor right now. You know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the form continued. The form continued from last season into preseason.
No,
So
because
he's getting his chances.
because his position wasn't really challenged. You see, Garnacho wasn't there because I'm telling you, Nico, more times if you look at it, it was always Rashford on the left and Garnacho on the right. You're right. So if Garnacho was there for preseason, I would Ten Hag was going with Rashford and Garnacho.
Yeah. So Ahmad would not get any chances to do what he did in preseason to now to have his name called and to start on the right hand side. So I think it really benefits him more than saying it would have hurt Rashford.
But Rashford form would drop in form would have bring him into the play.
Possibly.
I saw a tweet, and I don't normally get triggered by certain stuff on social media, but I saw a tweet of a video compilation of Marcus Rashford like back in the day, and what triggered me is the caption where it says, because don't forget Marcus Rashford is only 25, 26 years old. 26, yeah. And the caption that triggered me for a little bit, but I was like, yeah, the person is right. But the caption was, "It's a shame we won't see this Marcus Rashford again."
Wow.
And I was like, a lot of questions were going through my mind, like, but why is this person typing this here? Marcus Rashford is only 26-year-old. And then I kind of like reflected on the last 2 seasons. I was like, the person isn't wrong, but it just triggered me a little bit because when Marcus Rashford burst onto the scene, I had high hopes for this guy. He scored on all his debuts: Champions League debut, Europa League debut, England debut, Manchester Derby debut, Arsenal debut, and had like 1 or 2 other debuts he scored on. And I thought this guy was we had that there was a high ceiling for this guy. And just seeing that video and just reflecting on how Marcus Rashford used to be, and the person just said, "It's a shame we're not going to see this Marcus Rashford again." I was like,
I'll tell you something, and this is just my observation. Rashford could crash and burn because of his mentality.
Yeah.
Now, the type of player that Rashford is, the more pacey, quick dribble, beat and could shoot, in many ways, very similar to who Cristiano Ronaldo was. Not at that level, but very similar. The similarities are there. The thing with Ronaldo is is a mentality monster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Also, Ronaldo, the man just different in how he just see football. Right? And Ronaldo see, well, hey, I slow him down with the pace, so let me work on different aspects of my game. And Ronaldo was able to convert into a centre forward. And he had team, and because he was so good, managers knew that I needed to play for the player. And that is how Ronaldo was able to extend his career so long because of that man mentality and what he saw. He see, well, hey, I slow him down. Right? Probably I might be able to be like the flying winger that I was at Man United. So I had to adjust and these are the thoughts and conversations with himself that Rashford needs to have. Because if you're losing in certain areas that brought you to this place, then you have to start to think about where's my next step to still be useful. Because if he don't make this mental adjustment and start to work on that, he could find himself playing with Wigan just now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No, it's
saying?
true. It's true.
Yeah.
But Reem, what you talking about there is basically what most players go through at a certain point in the career. But we talk
26,
about
boy.
that. But that's what I want to say, bro. At 26, because let me be real. All you find Marcus get slower,
No.
No.
right?
It's a mental
So
thing.
they get
It's a
slower.
mental thing. Yeah.
Physically, you look stronger. You're supposed so we say all that to say, as you rightfully say, it's this. It had to be mental. Something ain't right with our youth. It's something ain't right. And the thing about it, which is so weird, a season ago, brother man, you was unstoppable. From the time Rashford picked up that ball, and listen, he was doing it at both wings. When that man pick up the ball, the whole of Old Trafford stand up because you know it's chaos he gonna create, and that just fall off so bad.
Yeah, back pass and everything. Back pass with Rashford now. Boy.
But yeah,
Back pass,
but you
back
have to get your contract, boy. You have to sign a contract out the end of that, boy.
Yeah, boy. For real, boy. After that contract, you're downhill. Eric saying, yeah, what happened to Sterling? What happening to Sterling could very well happen to Rashford unless he improves. I'll tell you something. The difference, I don't know if it's the board, but Man United have some kind of blind loyalty to players, but men could get here.
Yeah. Well, they get Sterling talk.
Get old and get married.
Well, they get Sterling talk in Chelsea.
Chelsea's treat all their players by like nothing. There was no
Sterling are going through that, you know. Sterling let them know Salman.
He can't even leave the club. They don't take away the number from him.
Yeah, they don't take
Yeah.
number, boy.
That's the utmost disrespect. I'm not gonna lie though. Having 42 players on your roster is mad.
But and the thing is that when you listen to the fella, I mean, listen, I can't stand Chelsea, and I find Ryan Sterling is a Macumba man. But at the same time, staying to football, though, when you listen to what he say, cause he man make real sense. Or you have a bag, or you have all these players, and a bag of shit snake playing in front of me, and I must just be quiet, then sell me.
Yeah. But I think they're preparing for some for a banner. My brother.
People keep on telling me that, and I keep on saying, dog, I feel this thing rigged, you know. I just feel this thing rigged for City and Chelsea.
I don't understand what Chelsea doing and how them getting to do all them things. I don't understand by.
And the box balance,
I know something wrong there. Something wrong there, boy. Anyway, fellas, I want to wrap it, right? But the last thing I want to just touch on is this whole Sancho mission. So, Phil, I want to start with you. I know use the man, just be up to date, you know, with what's going on with the transfer front. If Lion here, all right? I think, you know, the excuses that Ten Hag, or not excuses, but the reasons that Ten Hag, you know, giving us for leaving him out. You know,
what is the reason?
The first game against
infection.
He say some infection, but then he ended up going on to say, you know, he had to work to be in the team, and then today it was a tactical decision. But Sancho was with the team travel, you know, but he just didn't make the team. And it was a tactical decision, and everybody have to fight for the place, and they have to be strong, and that kind of talk now, boy.
Man, that's all you're paying. Close to 400,000, though.
But you see, for me, it's not even the money. He better than players you have on the bench.
Anthony, I don't know Anthony making that bench.
You know So Phil, let me hear you. What's your thoughts on, you know, Ten Hag leaving out Sancho for the second time running? And do you think that the reasons that he's given it making sense, it justified?
There's only so many excuses you can pull out of the trunk until everything is exposed, right? If Sancho is not sold this transfer window, then he has to be used. I'm sorry. He has to be used. So let's go back 2 preseasons ago where Sancho thrived at the false nine position. I don't want to say striker, but false nine position, right? If Sancho is not sold, you have to take out Mount and try Sancho there. You have to, if he's not sold.
He was
But-
playing there for the preseason.
Yeah, he was playing there in the not the preseason just now, but the preseason before.
No, but he played at first time this preseason went as well.
Yeah, this preseason, so yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like we saw Sancho in the false nine position 2 preseasons ago, and we told ourselves, okay, well, we know that the injuries to Martial and other players around us.
So it's an option.
Exactly. So playing Sancho in the false nine position was an option, as chefs say, right? And
Or so we thought.
And that season, Ten Hag was hired. We didn't see Sancho in the false nine position for that season at all, right? But based on what I'm seeing, the only 2 clubs that look into, maybe more 3, and the third club is a joke. The third club is Chelsea, that ain't for Sancho. Joke of a club. But Juventus and
PSG.
PSG, right? I don't care whoever takes him, just take him.
Yep.
Right? Stop all these excuses that are going to have Ten Hag hiding behind Sancho and Scott. If and I hope Scott is sold, you can't hide behind the whole bringing on Scott McTominay to save us this season that has started already, right?
Yeah.
But Sancho realizes that he's not in Sancho. You're not in the Bundesliga anymore. You don't have this. He was He was one of the go-to guys for Dortmund. It was him, Erling Haaland back in the day. Right?
Yep.
But now he is playing with other players who are being paid more than him, have a bigger ego than him, and were there before him. Right? But we got 1 more week to the transfer window closes. And this whole thing about waiting for players to leave in order for us to buy, it sounds good in theory. Am I behind it? Yes and no. Yes, I'm behind it, but no in terms of sometimes you just have to buy a certain 2 or 3 players in a specific position for the current player to be like, well, do I have to train harder this season? Am I going to get any play this season, or do I have to find myself another club? Right?
Or they could do like Phil Jones.
Exactly.
And that's unhappy.
Or like,
That's unhappy.
or like Lindelof.
What happened to Phil Jones since then?
We pay him plenty
Retired.
money.
Retired.
So Jones correct.
Yeah.
With a fat bank account.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But here's the thing: you're in the sport of football that is going to pay you well, so you might as well get paid well and be remembered for it. But if you're getting paid well and nobody remembers,
Nah, you're getting that money nowhere else. Go Manchester again, yeah, boy.
Think about it, Phil.
You feel Phil Jones could get that money?
Phil,
Say what?
you're getting that money nowhere else.
Nowhere else.
but it don't
Most
matter.
of them players, Lindelof, even Scott. I mean, Scott might be able to negotiate a contract, but still, them fellas not getting any kind of money again at United.
Scott negotiating a contract with who?
With Napoli, hopefully, but
Oh, I thought you said Manchester United.
But
Oh.
Napoli can't pay Scott that kind of money.
them still paying we getting now. So that's why them fellas find it hard to leave.
And Scott money is not no exorbitant kind of contract like the others, you know.
And he's still in again in Napoli when he go.
Imagine Xerxes when he was at Bologna. That man was getting reported 19,000 a week. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
19, you know?
But how much you getting now?
About 60.
About 60. Yeah.
But but the 60 have plenty incentives added on.
Add-ons.
But the biggest robbery, and this was obviously before Ineos, was Anthony.
Anthony
Was getting paid about 20,000 at Ajax. Now the man making what? Upwards of 150,000 or 200,000.
How much?
Jesus Christ, boy.
So that's what we saying. Other clubs are not paying the kind of wages Man United.
Yeah.
And
That's why players want to retire.
Yeah,
And then we just get them contract too.
Yeah.
Them days done though.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, guys, I think we've come to the end of the pod. I mean, another disappointing, well, not another, a disappointing result. All right. I mean, the panel kind of probably 50-50 on whether it was a deserved result or not. But we have Liverpool coming up next, and earlier,
Ooh.
Is Liverpool we play next?
yep,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
next week Sunday we play them home or away. I don't know.
Nah, we.
It matter.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you have 75,000,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It might do a little thing for you, don't know. But
Yeah, backing us. Definitely backing us. Backing us for sure.
Yeah, backing me one round. I back in my fantasy account.
Salah, yeah, Salah.
Of course. Salah and Haaland.
Oh god.
In terms of the starting lineup for next game, I definitely think De Ligt and Martinez should start. And if Mount does
Agreed.
if Mount does have this injury, then
Nah, Mount had a rest now. Boy.
I understand. I think the false nine experiment officially
Done. Yeah.
I think so. But we know the kind of manager we have.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the press might work against Liverpool because Liverpool defense giving away the ball plenty.
Liverpool defense are unsuspect right now. Now it's not a bad time to play them. But it's not a bad time to play we too. Because we defense mad just the same way.
Yeah.
I sure they got 6 other guys in the Caribbean for Liverpool all in. That probably saying the exact same thing as well. It's not a bad time.
It's a Liverpool all in.
I mean, the issue we have is who's going to score. Rashford used to be our trump card in these games. Like, okay, well, we go play mess, we go defend. Then Rashford will go get a pass and score a goal. But he ain't doing that no more. Garnacho, he already carry penalty. His finishing ain't the best. Ahmad, his end product is the worst part of his game. So who's going to score the goals? Bruno? Bruno show up now and then, like every now and then you see Bruno like a stepfather or something. I mean, especially Bruno. These big games he wants. I mean, I think he's a great player, but these games and they have Salah. I know they have Nunes too, but they have Salah. They have guys who will finish.
Got cool.
Yeah,
I think, right?
You see Jota and Diaz?
I think earlier, you see this whole thing with Rashford supposed to score or this one. I think we're supposed to start playing a way where it doesn't matter who scores.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's why I want our football the place I want our football to reach. That goals could come from anywhere, and we're not depending on goals to come from Ahmad or Bruno or this one or that one. Once we playing properly, the goals could come. Because look at that Ahmad goal, right? Ahmad had 2 options, 2 good options: shoot or Xerxes was right there. You understand? He took one and it worked out, and I didn't have a problem with that. Because for me, I reached the point now. Yes, I would like my forwards to score for confidence, right? But was the team playing properly and the goal scoring? I don't care who scored.
Yeah.
But who will score though?
Anybody could score. Anybody could score.
Mount going right now.
Like ain't nobody. That's my thing. Is like we don't have individual scoring. We don't have team scoring. We just get a goal here and there.
We gotta figure that out. We gotta figure that out.
I just feel if Mount start to score, he can raise his little vibe with him.
Later.
I don't want to Van de Beek the man.
Hey, I don't know Van de Beek can get minutes for Jonah yet,
Anyhow, wrap up the damn show. You see that?
So we done again. Liverpool next week, and then after Liverpool is a 2-week international break. So we are
Hoyland will be back around that time.
after the international break.
So what we gonna do? We're gonna play two up front.
Ten Hag. But you don't want to go to the international break so on a loss now, because it's just
early for that boy. Oh God,
talking rubbish for 2 weeks about that.
Oh God.
And we had to deal with that now, boy. So I really
hope
we could show with our performance and get a result against Liverpool, so we could get some breathing space to get a little breather. The team, the media will easily, and just get a result. Now. So so I just hoping Sunday, we show up and then fellas go to international duty, nobody come back injured, and we good to go,
And just to finish short off, I hope next week after the transfer market, when we come back, I see Ivan Toney and Manchester team sheet. That's all. We could go with that one. That's all.
Let me see what I have up the sleeve. Let me see what
I feel like something up the sleeve.
I feel so
too. Something off, right? But for me, most important is to see McTominay wearing blue of Napoli. I don't really believe how important that is for me.
That's really important.
Once it's not the red of Manchester, I don't.
Yeah, I just need to see McTominay holding that jersey. Or I go post that on All in All United Facebook page with pride.
I put that as my back. I put that as my background picture. I put that as my off the cam picture as well too. That's what I'm doing, big man. That is what
but then all you see the kind of announcement where when they bring out players to the crowd and thing. All you see what Conor Gallagher get? That big
boy.
shit snake?
Where you going?
Atletico.
It's final.
Yeah. Don't if you see the announcement for this man yesterday, you was swear is Ronaldo and Messi child. Dog, I talk to mass. The only thing he do is play the freaking piano.
Big man,
but what he had to offer, so
I was in shock. I was like, wait.
But what he had to offer?
He's a Simeone player.
Yeah,
but he played against England. In fact, he was in the Euros.
I was like, wow.
Conor Gallagher played one game under Southgate for England. It was shit, and then Kobe Manu started every single game.
Yeah,
but you would swear the reception that Conor Gallagher get, it was like a WWE Undertaker versus Stone Cold or some shit like that.
Dan, I was half expecting something to hear. Finally, Conor Gallagher has reached. I was expecting that. Dog, I was when I watched this thing, I was in shock. I was like, nah. Them punk. This had to be them punking week.
Yeah. No, it's serious out here. But I mean, wherever,
That shit snake.
Let's say when we come back here, we're supposed to see McTominay gone.
Yes.
Number one gone. I mean, Sancho for you own good go because Ten Hag Totten still, right?
Yeah. Ten Hag not today.
Sure. And whoever else had to go, and let me get some names in. Let me get some bodies in. We need some quality in this team.
Please, one midfielder, please. One mid, please.
Well, from what it looked like we were getting Ugarte, fella. But I
would take one mid and a center forward. That's all.
Some more attack, something a little more attack.
Yeah,
quality.
I rate Zitz. I want to see he and Hoyland come through, but them is not center forwards. Not yet. I honestly believe a center forward is a craft. That's thing you have to learn. Them fellas ain't there yet. And we don't need that OJT there right now.
No, but I think, Chef, right? When you look at the qualities of Zirkzee and you look at Hoyland, I think them will complement each other so nicely rather than playing one or the other. If you play two of them, because Zirkzee is a 9.5. Right? Yep. And Hoyland is a proper workhorse on top there. I think them will complement each other so much.
I don't find that. That's why you thought I was joking when I say I would like to see them two youths play.
Yeah, but Ten Hag can't do that. Ten Hag got to play Mount and Bruno. So.
And sadly, we don't. As much as we could think, Ten Hag didn't show us yet. He had that level of inventiveness.
Yeah.
I must say before we go, today's date is 8/24. I don't know if you know what that guy. I don't know if you know what that means to you guys.
No.
8/24.
8/24 is today's date. Correct.
Wait, just
Kobe Bryant, Kobe, this is two
Oh.
numbers.
Mama.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Let me just get his comments real quick before we wrap up. So Richard on the inside, thanks for joining, man.
Man,
Right,
join
we
late.
have- Yeah, we're looking to wrap with it. We have AG7 on the inside, thanks for joining, man.
Hey, Garnacho on the inside.
Garnacho sit down with Ten Hag, we?
Hey.
Hey, the internet never would lose. Oh God!
You see, Ten Hag, Ajax players are not working. And final committee says Zirkzee is a scrub. You just find this about your teammate, mate.
Hey.
My goal. Gosh.
Garnacho was tonight, boy.
Yeah.
Garnacho, your field defense don't be watching all in all. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Garnacho, them 2 open goals they miss. Shame on you, eh? Shame on you. And then you have people blaming Zirkzee. Shame on you. Yeah.
Anyway, so fellas, it was nice. So we're going to be here again next week, Saturday. Guys in the comments, thanks again for, the comments, the likes, the shares, everything. Don't forget to, join us on the YouTube platform if you haven't already, and subscribe, right? We know the algorithm and all them kind of things that work, right? Garnacho saying Zirkzee ruined his goal.
But Garnacho missed a whole open goal.
Yeah. Come on.
That shouldn't even touch Zirkzee.
Yeah, Garnacho. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Have a good one. Right? We just start 9 o'clock every match day. So come early. Right? So fellas, have a good one. See you on the next one. Good night.
Yeah, man. Good night.
Good night.